People. MindOfReese back with another video. I haven't done a movie review in a while. I think the last one I did was Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat was the last one I did. If you're new to the channel, if you haven't seen that one, let me explain. This is what I call a half and half review. I'm from Baltimore, Maryland. Half and half is a popular drink in Baltimore, Maryland. Half iced tea, half lemonade, whatever. But for this review, half and half means half regular review, half spoiler review. So this is how we're going to do it. First of all, let me preface by saying this. I am not a movie critic. I'm a fan of movies. I love movies. I love going to the movie theater. I love experiencing movies. I love talking about movies with my friends. I love talking about movies with people I don't know. I love discussing movies and reviewing movies after I see them. Movies I enjoy for the most part, even ones I don't. This is what this is. So if the review is all over the place, if I'm talking all over the place, that's why. I'm not an actual critic. I never, portray myself to be one, never called myself one, anything of the sort. So this will not be when I talk about the movie, mainly for, obviously for the spoilers, I'll be all over the place, but this is a warning for the regular review. It's not going to be like, I'll try, but it probably won't be in line, like as far as the plot goes. And obviously in the regular review, I won't spoil anything, even though if you've seen the trailers, you've seen the movie. But so with that being said, half and half review, regular review, then I will let you know when I'm about to get into the spoilers. So if you have not seen the movie and you don't want to be spoiled before going to see it, you can leave. And when you do that, and you go see the movie, make sure you come back, finish the video. But you can leave. I don't want to unnecessarily spoil anyone without giving a warning or anything of the sort. So half and half review for F9, the Fast Saga, aka Fast 9, aka Fast and Furious 9, aka what I call it, Flashback and Furious 9. Let's get into it.
Y'all ever thought about the wild missions we've been on? We've taken out planes, trains, tanks. I'm not going to even think about the submarine. And now we got cars flying in the air? Who is he?
Jacob is Dom's brother.
Been a long time, Dom.
Little brother.
You always say never turn your back on family, but you turned your back on me. Now your little family is in my world.
So, man, I don't even know where to start. I'm going to start with this. Fast and Furious is my favorite movie franchise of all time. I love these films. I cried when Paul Walker died. That was the first time I ever cried during a celebrity death. I love these movies. Not all of them. I actually hate Fate of the Furious, and I very much dislike Hobbs and Shaw. But for the most part, all these films, I love Tokyo Drift. Just putting it out there, I love Tokyo Drift. I love these movies. And even though I love this franchise, and even though, I see the direction the franchise has gone in and is continuing to go in, I'm still going to go see them because I love them. I have to give it a chance. So going into this, I kind of did something I don't usually do. I said, you know what? I'm going to turn off the oh my God, what if they turned my franchise into mindset? Flip that switch off. Going into it, regular movie, popcorn film, I know what I'm getting into. I know I'm about to see some stunts where, if Logic saw these, not Logic the rapper, that would be fucking weird. If Logic in physics saw these movies, they would be like, I'm pussy? Like that, the meme, motherfucker. But so with that being said, I still found myself saying there's no fucking way. Throughout most of this movie, I found myself saying, bro, There's no way. There's no way. And I was saying it like to the point where I couldn't even keep it in my head. I was saying it out loud. I took my mom to go see the movie. Excuse me. I took my mom to see the movie. We love these movies. We always go together. And when something crazy would happen, she would look over at me like this, and I'd be like, there's no way, yo. There's no way they're doing these things. And with this movie, they kind of went a different direction because it's self-aware. And to be honest, I felt like that made it a bit worse. Like, I get what you're trying to do. Everyone knows y'all are invincible. Y'all are basically the Avengers at this point. Y'all are doing supernatural things, superhuman things. But in the movie, discussing the fact that y'all are invincible and, you know, doing these bits where you're self-aware of the fact, self-aware, basically being meta of the fact that y'all almost can't die. It kind of ruined it for me. Like, just do the stunt, man. Don't. In this half of the review, if I do talk about scenes in the movie, it was a scene that was in the trailer, so I know I'm not spoiling it. Like, there's a scene where Tyrese is like, you know, we invincible, you know, and we think about the missions we've been on. And he's saying it to two characters, and they're basically calling him an idiot. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, no, this is the only motherfucker that's making sense right now. He's absolutely right. Like, bro, it's ridiculous. The things, even in the earlier parts of the movie, like the first 30 minutes, maybe the first hour, some of the most insane things happen. Like, there's this crazy scene with Tyrese that they didn't even explain early in the movie where he should have been fucking Play-Doh. But you know what? I'll get to that on the spoiler side of the review. But I will say, was this movie good? I don't know. I wouldn't say it was very good, but I enjoyed myself. And it's a fun film. And that's coming from someone who doesn't like the route that they've gone recently with these films, like, you know, the insane stuff, how they've embraced it. But I enjoyed this movie. It was fun. I will watch it again. And that's also coming from someone who, like I said, I saw Fate of the Furious, the last one. Saw it in the movies, never watched it again. I hate that film. And it's not even just the fact that they're doing insane shit, like, to the next level. But I didn't care about it. I didn't like the plot. I feel like that. And obviously, you know, I'm not going into a Fast and Furious film for the plot, which I'm going to get to with this film. But with that one, I was just like, bro, at least make me care a little bit. I did not care, like, at all. With this film, I cared a little about the plot, but they tried to make you care too much. Like, before Fast and Furious 7, Brian's last film, Paul Walker's last film, that emotional scene at the end, which was a tribute to Paul Walker, there wasn't much, like, emotional stuff in Fast and Furious. You see what I'm saying? With this film, they try to pack on the emotion like this is a soap opera. And I get what they're trying to do, you know, the family drama. You know, this is basically a story about Vin Diesel and John Cena's characters being brothers, which Fast and Furious has done some insane things. Fast and Furious has done some insane things. I watched The Rock push a torpedo on ice with his bare hands. I watched Tyrese drive a Lamborghini on ice. I've seen them outrun a submarine with cars. I've seen Vin Diesel tear down an entire parking garage by stepping on it. I saw The Rock break out of a cast. I've seen The Rock get blown out of a window with a grenade, land on a car and only break his arm or some shit. What else? I've seen Tyrese take out an army of 5 men with assault rifles, and all he had to block the bullets was a Lamborghini door. Shout out to Rick Ross. I've seen all of that and some more shit. I've seen Vin Diesel take a car and jump from skyscraper to skyscraper. The most insane thing that they have done thus far in this franchise is try to convince me that John Cena and Vin Diesel are brothers. John Cena, I am a wrestling fan, as you can tell by the shirt, Wrestle Melanin, by my great friend Kanisha. I will leave the link in the description below if you would like one. But John Cena is the whitest of white bread. And there's a line in the film where they try to say, oh, I knew the Toretto line was very mixed, but no, it ain't that fucking mixed. It's just not that fucking mixed, but I let that go. It's a lot of drama in this, centered around those two as brothers. And my issue with that comes when I called this Flashback in the Furious. There are so many flashbacks in this film to the point where it got unbearable. And there was one specific scene, I think it's one of the later flashbacks, where it just keeps going. And I'm like, bro, we don't just show the movie. Half of this movie was probably flashbacks. And most of it dealt with John Cena and Vin Diesel characters. But we didn't need that many. You understand what I'm saying? And with the flashbacks, they had younger versions of Vin Diesel and John Cena. And to be honest, the younger version of Vin Diesel is a better actor than Vin Diesel. Put that motherfucker in the films for crying out loud. Obviously, Han is alive. Not a spoiler. It was in the trailers. I have an issue with this. Going into the movie, I had an issue with this. Because, like I said, I'm a fan of Tokyo Drift. Han's death meant something. Han's death meant something to Sean. It was impactful to the character in Tokyo Drift. Han's death meant something to Vin Diesel and Vin Diesel and them. They had a fucking funeral to, like, bro, they forced this in, and I can tell they forced this in, and I'm really going to get into it more into the spoilers, which I'm going to go into soon, but they forced it in, and the reason they gave for him being alive, to me, was bullshit. I'm not buying it. Whether I'm buying it or not doesn't matter. He's back, but I need a better reason. The movie obviously was funny. You're going to get that from Tyrese and Ludacris. And speaking of Tyrese and Ludacris, I have to address this because it's not a spoiler. Everyone knows about it. It's the worst kept secret. It's the worst kept secret in Hollywood right now. Actually, no. The worst kept secret in Hollywood is that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are going to be in Spider-Man 3. But this was the second worst kept secret. That they went into space. They went into space. Tyrese and Ludacris went into space. And it's not some crazy thing. They racing cars in space and shit. It's not that. But they went into space. And going into it, I was like, they picked the most two ignorant niggas to send to space. When I saw the scene, I said, you know what? They picked the right people to go to space because I care about this. If it was anyone else, I would not have cared. I don't want to hear Vin Diesel in space or do it for family. No, I don't want to hear that shit. They sent the right people into space. The most human characters are Tyrese and Ludacris, and those are the ones they sent to space. And, I appreciate that. It turned out really good. There are moments in the film. Where there was a specific moment between John Cena and Vin Diesel where it was supposed to be a serious scene, but John Cena said a line and I just sat in I couldn't hold the laughter in. I didn't die of laughter, but I was just like, come on, bro. That wasn't it. John Cena didn't even do that bad of a job. He was cool in the film. He scowled a lot, which, whatever. But he was decent. It didn't distract me. It didn't take me out of the film or anything like that. As you see in the trailers, they have this magnet thing that they use to pull cars in. Yeah, magnets don't fucking work like that. I don't even want to talk about that. But overall, the stunts in this film, yes, they are crazy, but they're fun to watch. Whether the fun factor comes from, oh, wow, I can't believe they did that, or, oh, wow, I cannot believe they did that. You understand the difference. I was more the latter. But, yeah, it was a fun film. I don't know if it was good or not. If you're a fan of the franchise, you're going to enjoy this, I feel like. Even if you're not, you may enjoy it. It's the ultimate popcorn film. Like I said, I wish they would have toned down on the flashbacks and trying to push the emotional factor, because I don't feel it was necessary. Not even that it wasn't necessary, but the lengths that they went to was not necessary. Overall, good film. Nice stunts. Had a great time watching it. Had some good laughs. Obviously, I had issues with it, but at the end of the day, would I watch it again? Yeah, it has some replay factor. I'm not sure how much, but it has some replay factor. And it's obviously leading into something else. Apparently, we have one film left, maybe two. Who knows? It's not going to end there. Vin Diesel's going to find a way to make money off of this. But if I had to give it a score, I give it a 6.5 out of 10. It's not bad. 6.5 out of 10. Really good film. I mean, not really good film. Really decent film. Really fun film. Not that great. It's to the point where I would say, if I had to describe it, I would say you're going to have fun watching this film. But if you decide not to go see this film, you're not missing out on anything. That's all it is. Now let's get into the spoilers. So spoilers. Yes, they go into space. They have to stop a satellite. They send Ludacris and Tyrese in space to stop the satellite. They end up ramming into it. They, like I said, they didn't drive cars in space. They didn't race in space, which at this point I probably would have been like, whatever. At this point. Tyrese's thing about them being invincible. Oh my God, bro. Do concussions not exist in this movie? I watched Vin Diesel's head go through a ceiling. Motherfucker didn't flinch. Vin Diesel was fighting a henchman on top of a truck. This motherfucker's head went through a billboard. Motherfucker barely flinched. Motherfuckers' heads are bouncing off of fucking walls and pillars and shit. And no one has a concussion. No one's blinking a little bit to see if they are okay. No one's staring out to space because they don't know where they fucking are. Like, bro, why am I complaining about this? Why am I complaining about this? I watched Vin Diesel Tarzan jump from one cliff to another. The car tumbled about 5-6 fucking times. Neither of them had a seatbelt on, and they came away without a scratch. Vin Diesel's white ass t-shirt didn't even have a dirt mark on it. Why am I complaining about concussions? Anyway, Han. They fucked Han's story up. I feel like they fucked the character of Han up. I love Han. If you love Fast and Furious, you love Han. Come on, bro. He's one of the most lovable characters, if not the most lovable character outside of Brian in the franchise. Loved him in Tokyo Drift. Loved him in the other movies he was in after. They ruined this motherfucker's character, bro. You should have just left him dead, honestly. Like, I don't understand what the reason was for bringing him back. And the excuse they gave was when he went to Tokyo, he linked up with Mr. Nobody, who was played by Kurt Russell in the films. Kurt Russell had a link to Giselle, who was played by Gal Gadot in the films. Han started working for Mr. Nobody. He had to retrieve something. The MacGuffin, if you don't know what a MacGuffin is basically an item in the film or in a movie that people are after. The MacGuffin in this film is some kind of thing that's linked to a satellite. I don't fucking know. Han was linked to that. Han had to retrieve it for Mr. Nobody back in the day when he first got to Tokyo. Right? Hear me out. When Han went to retrieve this, there was a girl at the house he went to retrieve it from her parents. Her parents owned it, her parents created it. And to unlock it, they used her DNA. So, no one could get a hold of it. Her parents were killed, blew up in the car. She wasn't in the car. She went back to get a raincoat. Soldiers came in to retrieve it. Han was on his way out. The girl was there. He went back to save her. He ended up adopting her, right? This happened before Han died, right? Where the fuck was this little girl in Tokyo Drift the entire time, bro? The entire time. They were always at Han's shop. Where was this little girl? Never seen her once. I need answers. It's Fast and the Furious. I don't harp on plots a lot, but bro, that's a huge plot hole. And for someone who loves Tokyo Drift, you're not just gonna go over that. But let's get into how Han survived. Okay. Basically, Mr. Nobody gave Hans a heads up that Jason Statham was coming because Jason Statham used to work for Mr. Nobody. Gave him a heads up that he was coming. Apparently, the way they made it seem, either one of two things happened. Han was never in the fucking car, or the car never blew up. I'm not bullshitting. I'm not bullshitting. That's what the fuck they did. The car either never blew up or Han was never in it. I would have been more okay if he was left dead, bro. Honestly. Like, this was forced and ridiculous. There was no reason for this. There was no reason for this at all. I didn't like it. Was it cool to see Han back? Sure. But not for this, man. Not for this. And the girl that he adopted ended up growing up. I guess she's some kind of fucking ninja assassin because she's nice as fuck, but she's fine as hell too. So, keep her in the films. But obviously towards the end, Jacob and Dom reconcile. He gives Dom a 10-second call like Brian did him. Jacob gets away because the people Jacob was working with turned on him to start working with Cypher, who was Charlize Theron's character, who was still out there. So I guess she's the big bad of this. They got to take her down eventually. You knew Jacob and Dom were going to come together, the whole family thing, So that's not a surprise at all. Trying to figure out if there's anything else in the reason Jacob. Okay. I'm glad they kind of gave an explanation, because if it was going to be, Jacob killed their dad, I'm like, bro, why is this getting so dark? Like, what was the reason? Why? But when it turns out that he didn't know that was going to happen and he did that because his dad wanted him to throw the race, that made more sense. So, yeah, I'm okay with that. Moving on from that. In the spoiler section, there's really not much to say. Like I said, they showed everything in the film. The last scene in the movie almost choked me up. Like I said, I'm a huge fan of Paul Walker. I cried when he passed away. That was the first time a celebrity passed, and I cried. Huge fan of Paul Walker. Huge fan of this franchise. So at the end of the film, they're all together. Also, Sean from Tokyo Drift is in this movie. Don't know where he learned to fly planes or make rocket engines, but we're not even going to get into that because in the grand scheme of things, that's low on the totem pole of crazy shit, this movie. I didn't even think about the fact of during the film, I didn't think about the fact of how close he was with Han and how would he react to seeing Han alive. So that was an emotional moment for me too, because I was like, man, they were so close. Like I said, I'm a fan of Tokyo Drift. I remember how close they was. I remember how much Han meant to him. So him being able to see him and, them hug it out meant a lot to me. But, they were rebuilding the Toretto house. In the backyard, everyone's cooking. And they're all together, and baby Brian, Dom's son, is about to say grace. And Dom says, hold up, there's one seat empty. And Mia's like, he's on his way. And we see, I don't know what kind of car it is. It's a blue car, sports car, driving up in parks. And it's Brian. We don't get to see him, though. Obviously, if they did, it would have been like a fake thing. But if they did that, the fake thing, and we got to see his face just like his brother in them CGI, that I would have cried. I would have cried for sure. Because, yeah, R.I.P. my boy. But yeah, that was an emotional way to end it. It was a nice way to end it. There is a mid-credit scene. I will tell you what the mid-credit scene is. Jason Statham is doing something, basically interrogating the guy. He's inside a heavy bag and he's beating the shit out of it. And he hears a knock at the door. Jason Statham opens the door and it's Han. And Jason Statham looks shocked because he thought he killed this guy, right? Not sure where that's leading. Not sure how that leads into Fast and Furious 10, or maybe it leads into the next Hobbs and Shaw. Who knows? Who gives a fuck, honestly? Yeah, I enjoyed this film, man. Like I said, not much in the spoiler section because you saw everything in the trailer. Would I say it again? Yeah. I'd probably go to the theaters to see it again, honestly. But yeah, I enjoyed the film. F9, A Fast Saga. This went longer than I expected, but I had a lot to say. So I had some technical difficulties, but basically, if you like the movie, let me know down in the comment section below, man. Tell me how you felt about the movie. Tell me if you're looking forward to the movie. Regardless of what I said in the movie, I always encourage people to see movies for themselves. Speaking of the video, if you like the video, leave a like on the video, please. It definitely helps. Along with comments. Comments help too. You know, it helps with the YouTube algorithm, helps to get my videos out there to more people. If you didn't like the video, like the video anyway. If you're new, subscribe. A lot of y'all aren't subscribed that watch the video, so subscribe. It helps, even if you don't watch every video. You hitting the subscribe button truly does help me, and I truly do appreciate it. When you subscribe, if you would like to know when these videos come out, hit the notification bell. Should be right next to the subscribe button, so you get notifications sent to you personally whenever I drop a new video. But yeah, I ain't got no hat on. My head's kind of fucked up right now, so I'm gonna holla at y'all. See you in the next video. Peace.